Hey, good morning, everybody. Rory Powers, Right Line Trading. Hope everybody had a nice evening. We're just a minute away from the opening bell, so let's just do our disclaimer really quick. This broadcast is for educational and demonstration purposes only. I am not a licensed financial advisor. If you're not familiar with the risks associated with trading, please consult with a licensed financial advisor. Okay. Hope everyone had a nice evening. My name is Rory Powers, if this is your first day joining us, and I'm going to be highlighting trading the AI Auto Trader. And the AI Auto Trader, when the strategies are enabled, will execute and manage the trades on your behalf on a fully automated basis. It can also be traded on a semi-automated basis because the stop and profit targets are projected on the charts. So I do have the ability to drag my profit or stops in any location that I choose. The system trades all of the index equities on futures. Along with crude oil and gold. I see we're in this nice long position here, coming up to the VWAP on the E-mini. Let's take a quick look at what the market did overnight. We had that huge move up this morning. Some really nice volatility here, I see. Got a big drop down, a retracement, and now we're headed right back up into that area of resistance. Hey, good morning, Leonard. The Russell's been red hot. The Russell again started out the day with a nice trade, it looks like, on the signal A's. All the signal A's are in the green. This week the Russell's been hot. You know, I like to look at the strategies with the mindset of what have you done for me lately, and I'm referring to which ones am I going to trade in my live account. I want to trade the cream of the crop, the ones that are doing the best. We're getting a really nice push up here. Let's see what happens with this area of resistance. I'm looking at the NASDAQ. This red line, our software, is defined as an area of resistance. And I'm just seeing if we break through that or we get a bounce. Currently in a long position on the ES. On the top left is my ES 5-minute chart. And just underneath that, I'm in a long position on the Russell. If we do break that, what we would want is an NQ signal B. So I'm going to pop that onto my Apex account because I kind of like the way it's pushing up. And I've got my 50 green, my 15 green. So I'm going to try to get an entry on that NQ30 range with this push up. The market likes to give us a little head fake first thing in the morning, though. It'll look like it's going to head up, and then all of a sudden, you're crashing to the downside. It is on fire, Leonard. We're going to take a look at the Russell this week. And the Forex Factory, let's take a look at the calendar. Today's calendar. Let's take a quick look. Oh, we got crude inventory. Existing home sales at 10 a.m. Crude oil, 10:30. And today's an FOMC day, 2 o'clock. So let's try to take what the market will give us. Historically, when the FOMC has the meeting minutes coming out in the afternoon, we get a really choppy, ranging market. Looking for a little follow-through to the upside now on this NASDAQ 30-minute. And let's take a look at the leaderboard here. The Russell this week this is what my performance looks like on the Russell. The cash cow is up 822. The Signal A AI bot is up 922. Very good win rate. Very efficient. Very small drawdown. The Signal A drone up 509. So that's, again, it shows you the difference between the drone and the bot. The drone is telling the bot where to put the stops and profit targets. The drone made 509 with static profit and stop targets. The bot was dynamically moving at almost twice as much profit. So the system leverages some AI technology that will dynamically change the position of your stop and profit targets during the session without any input from us. It does it automatically. Signal B, not as good. So let's take all three of our Signal A's and let's just take a look at the analysis. I always like to see what time of the day it's happening. And it looks like really it does its best between 9:30 and 11. So this is the prime time. Here we go with the short roll. Signal A. The haymaker must have jumped in. And it really helps to learn the two entries, the Signal A and B. And it also helps to learn the conditions. If you see you're getting into trades that you don't want to be getting into. I love to go back. I spent almost an hour yesterday with Bernard, and we went over all of the entries that his system took. I want to see, where the big winners, what the conditions look like. And I want to see the losers. How can we filter out some of those trades? Doing it on just one day's results is a little difficult. But you could certainly on your data series load 7 days or 2 weeks or even a month and go back and spend an hour or two just assessing your entries. So the retirement plan just did jump in. Let's take a look at the retirement plan. The ES bounced right off of that VWAP. Now a signal A to the upside on the 30 range, but we're headed right into this area of resistance. So I'm going to wait until I'm going to hold off until we break this area if we're going to go for a long trade. The Russell just jumped back in, it looks like. Hey, good morning, Suzanne. Good morning. Hope you had a nice evening. So we're just letting things settle down from the market open, and we're going to make a decision. I've kind of enabled my signal B. That's the one that I got the winner on yesterday. But looking at the that area of resistance here, I'm just going to hold off again. The Russell is very enticing. Yeah, black gold is doing well as well. This is right in the zone, too. This is a nice trade. It is a counter trend trade. It entered on the green 50 and a green 15. 15 below the 50. A little more risk associated with that entry, but the Russell's been doing great. There goes our short trade to the downside. That was the 1 day past trade. I just saw it, 310. That's the one I was looking for yesterday. So here we go with that signal B on the 30 range. It looks like it's ready to kick in. So I saw a spike in volume. My Laguerre is pinned to the downside. I'd love to get in right when the 15 crosses that 50 to the short side. So I'm going to play a short roll here on the NASDAQ. So I've enabled my NQ30 range signal B. I duplicated the drone. And I'm looking for a short roll here. The ES is trying to push through that VWAP. Let's take a look at black gold. Here we go. Here we go on the NASDAQ. Wow, black gold is in a beauty. Let's replace the gold. What I like to do is once I get some breathing room on these trades, this is a perfect example here. What I want to do, my stop is kind of out in right field here. So it's really tight to the 15 right here. So I don't want to squeeze it too much. But I don't want to give back all of that profits either. So one way to preserve some of that capital, some of the profits on this trade, is to right-click my stop banner and attach it to my indicator. And I'll go to Properties, and I'll look for that modified fast in my list, and I'll select that. And now my stop is pinned to my 15 EMA. I'll do that when I've got some room. I've squeezed it a little tight, but that's okay because we've got $440 or $450 in profits. Like Peter said the other day, he said it's better to get a half a loaf than a poke in the eye. And a poke in the eye would be a coming all the way back. Yeah, a big head fake on that one. Now it's jumping back up to the upside. Unreal. Unreal. The ES is, man, the ES just holds it and rides it. Not as sensitive as the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at the Russell trade. And two nice trades here on crude oil and the Russell. I'm really tempted to try to catch that Russell on the turn. Looking at the performance this week, I tell you what, just going on that, let's look for this reversal. So what I'll do is if I want to duplicate that, I'll go to my Strategies tab, right-click, and select New Strategy. And I'm going to select under my available list the AI Auto Trader P. And I know that my cash cow is a signal A entry on the Russell. So I'm going to look for the RTY cash cow right here. And I'm going to load it up. And I'm going to put this on the correct instrument. And we'll put it on number 13. Number 13 is the one I've been fighting on for a couple weeks now. And then all I have to do is enable it. Now keep in mind the FOMC does have the 2 o'clock or 2:30 the announcement. The minutes are going to be released, so we have to keep that in the back of our minds. It's retesting. NASDAQ is retesting that area of resistance. So I currently have the cash cow on my apex and the signal B on the 30 range. I'm looking for this break of this resistance and a move up. In order to get into the trade on the Russell, I would need this RSI line to break down through that 80% line. This is my Gear oscillator. The purple line, the magenta line, is that RSI line I needed to break down below, outside of that green area. And then I'll jump in short. It is a whippy morning. It looks like we're bouncing again. We're in a tight range here since the market opened on the NASDAQ. Well, the black gold, the black gold took profits on that, and now it jumped into the long side. Excuse me. Okay. Russell, crude oil, ES, all signal A's. Volatility, big moves up and down. Gonna retest again. Might get the break here. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see if we get popped in. We should get this entry right here if this candle closes up. Leonard, I'm reading your question there. Took great entries on Haymaker and Signal A. Could we simply manually close to move stop loss at break even? We manually close. You can manually close your position, yes. But then you wrote to move your stop loss at break even. If you just want to move your stop loss, what I would recommend doing is dragging your stop. If you click one time on your stop, left click one time, and then drag, and when you're ready to drop your stop at break even, you would left click again one time, and it releases it. I'm going to pin my stop on the E-mini. Now I need this break up through this area of resistance. There we go. So we got into the trade. Let's see if we can get some follow through on this. Got the break of resistance. But Leonard, you're right. The Signal A entry here on the Haymaker is where my cross is. I would have been in this move much earlier. That one did not go my way, did it? So we got this again. It's taking this roll off of resistance. The haymaker might take this one short. Now we're about to pop into this short position. Let me see if it jumped in. Not yet, but it's close. Crude signal A. Just taking a look over here at the, seeing what else comes above our radar here. What I like to do is I like to go through the performance on just a short-term basis. See which ones are hot, which ones are not. I was just looking at the Dow. About a break-even strategy this week. Signal B. Minor news in 2 minutes. Existing homes. Thank you, Leonard. I usually like to take a crude oil play on the report, crude inventory report. I really don't like trading the news, but that's the one that I've had some okay luck with, some success with. I tell you, the NASDAQ is stuck here in a very narrow range. This is the time, though, that strategy on the 2 minute, I think it was 10 or 10:30. Let's take a quick look. We'll do all the NASDAQ 2 minutes. Yeah. If I go back. Yeah, 10:30 is when it starts. Kind of surprised I didn't get into this short trade on the Russell. Let's just look at our positions to make sure. Yeah, we missed that entry for one reason or another. But I did enable that signal A. Maybe we'll catch it to the long side here. My cash cow strategy is enabled. signal A. See if we can get this move up. There's a pop. The ES is looking good, I'll tell you. Open positions. And our leaderboard. Russell and crude. Russell and crude. Let's take a look at crude. Big move down. Big move down. Let's take a look at the haymaker. You know, I like that short roll on crude right now. I see my Laguerre is just about in that green area. And with such a nice downtrend on crude, I think what I'm going to do is get ready. I'm going to add a strategy for the crude oil black gold. We could get a short roll right here that looks juicy. So I'm going to look for my black gold strategy, load it up. And I'm going to make sure I'm on the right instrument. And I'm going to go ahead and enable that one as well. I'm looking for that short roll on crude. And haymaker, I'm surprised it didn't jump in just now. I must have the signal the 50 signal enabled. If my 50 signal is enabled, that's a condition in the strategy. It's not going to take that short entry. The retirement plan, we don't use the 50 signal. You know, Leonard, it does pretty well with the report. You know, I've had some really nice trades on crude. Excuse me. It does well on the crude report, actually. You know, with news reports, there's a lot of volatility, so, you know, the signal, you would think signal A, but once it starts flying in one direction, then the signal B. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this short roll on crude. You know, every time the Nasdaq tries to go short, it keeps coming back and retesting. It doesn't want to. The bulls are fighting this one out here. Now we could, potentially we can get into this long trade on the Russell as well. If this Russell continues to the upside and my Laguerre crosses, we'll be in Russell long. Here we go with crude short. That might have put me in right there. Let's see. Yep. So we're short crude. Let's take a look at that trade. I kind of got the trade that I wanted. The way I see the Nasdaq right now, it's just untradeable, to be honest. Don't like it. Terrible. It's terrible, Leonard. I thought it was going to break right through that resistance at first and give us a nice move to the upside, but that didn't happen. The E-mini's kind of retracing on us a little bit here. Bounced off the VWAP again. Just want to keep an eye on the Russell, because I could potentially get into a trade on that as well. So what we're trading today so far is the NASDAQ, the cash cow on the Russell, and the black gold. And I've got all three of them enabled on the same Apex account. The ES wicked us out. I'm very tempted to disable that NASDAQ. I'd rather not pull in another loser. But if we get that short roll, finally, well, no surprises. The Dow is in a nice trade. Well, we've got some strategies that are doing well. Come on, crude. Yeah, I've seen crude trade these inventory reports, and it'll be in a position during the report, and then it's almost like a coin toss. If the report, causes the move to go in the right position, it could be a really nice payday, or it could be a quick stop out. Ooh, that NASDAQ's painful to watch this morning. Just no direction whatsoever. Momentum is headed up on the 30 range, down on the 2-minute. I'm going to disable that strategy for now. I'm not comfortable with that. So I'm just going to take it off this Until we break through that area of resistance, I don't want to take a long position. Now this will be the time it breaks through, right? That's trading. Let me tell you, the haymaker is green. It's in this rough condition, to be green on the NASDAQ is pretty darn good. Could get this break here again. Let me go back. I'm going to go ahead and try it. This could be the one. Go ahead. Pop up to the upside. Hey, good morning, Rao. Yeah, I'm going to take it off. There's no direction on the NASDAQ. I'm pretty conservative when it comes to trading. Maybe overly conservative. Let's see if we can break through here now. Our Laguerre is pin long, which is a condition of the signal B entry. My phone is ringing. So all this signal B needs now is just to pop through this area of resistance, and just can't get there yet. We might be in this crude oil position right through the report. And with the way the way crude oil has been going, headed down, it might just continue on down. That's my hope. I always think that there's the insiders that have the inside scoop on that report, and they took their profits early. Let's check the Russell. Oh, we're in a trade on the Russell too. All right, let's check out the Russell trade. I hope I didn't go long. No. I did. I took a long position on the Russell. Ay, ay, ay. Let's not let that happen again. Very small loser, $50. So our play right now is on crude. We're headed into the crude inventory report at 10:30. Whether or not we can hold this position for 10 minutes, I don't know. Yeah, you're right, Leonard. It wasn't easy yesterday either, I'll tell you. Yesterday it seemed like the FOMC was talking all day. So nothing really doing on the NASDAQ. So I was kind of looking for an alternative. I'm hoping I found it in crude. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Taking some heat. Come on down. Taking some heat on the crude trade. Excuse me for just one moment. Okay, now the haymaker must have went short. Nope, it's about to. This could be our short roll. It's about 10:30. There goes the haymaker. The haymaker took it. Here we go. Here we go. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get my signal B ready. No follow through, Leonard. Crude came up and kissed my stop, and now I'm back to break even on the trade. Yeah, this is live streaming, Holland. My name's Rory Powers. I'm with Right Line Trading. And we're showcasing the AI Auto Trader. And the AI Auto Trader is trading 6 instruments simultaneously. We've got the Fed report coming out here at 2 o'clock this afternoon. And historically, these are pretty choppy days to trade. Our cash register jumped in short, right into that VWAP. So I'm going to give it one more trade. My loss limit is usually 500. I'm just under that. So I'm going to give it one more shot. And I think I'm also going to bring up a signal B for the black gold. So I'll be prepared, depending on which way the market goes. If it has sometimes we've seen the report have very little effect on the market, and then other times it has a big effect. So we're going to be ready either way. We're going to trade it on our Apex account. So 10:30, the report comes out, and we're going to look to jump into a position on crude. Crude oil, the Russell, the cash cow strategy is having another great session. It wound up taking that. Look at that. Wound up winning that trade. Gold is good. I know. The cash cow is racking it up. I chickened out, Leonard. If this NASDAQ would just give us a little follow through. Oh, I'm on the signal B. So I could potentially get into a short trade on the NASDAQ. All right, we got 2 minutes until the crude inventory report. Let's see what effect, if any, it has on crude oil. I'm just going to change my text to white. So if we get a short roll, we want a signal A. And if it continues up, we're going to go ahead with the signal B. Let's see what happens. We got 2 minutes. Haymaker went back in long. NASDAQ's just chopping all over the place. Let's see what happens with this crude oil inventory. Just a minute away. There it goes. Let's go with the signal. You can't tell which way. B. Good volume. I took the B for a push up. It's at 2,000 contracts a minute. Looks like it broke out of consolidation to the upside. But now it's kind of waffling. I'm going to switch it up. Let's take them both, actually. A lot of volume. It just didn't move. No movement. Let's look at the Russell. I'm losing hope on the crude oil, on the inventory report here. It looks like it was a dud. Not a major mover. Everything looks like it's going sideways. Gold is moving fast. Let's take a look. I'm going to take off crude. Try and get my my best shot on my last. Oh, you're right. Getting a big move down on. Oops. Let's come back to the right edge of the chart. Oh, wow. He was supposed to tell me about this a long time ago. Holy moly. And we miss a beauty. Hey, Holland, yeah, that's correct. You would receive the full portfolio of strategies. And we do trade the system on YouTube Live every morning, Monday through Friday. The Discord chat group, we have a great community of traders that all collaborate, that you would absolutely be a part of. And I'm going to put a link in the chat box that you can learn some more. So the gold signal A, if we get this retracement, the gold is really in an oversold environment. So it's retracing back to the 50. My Laguerre is coming up. So at this point, our only chance for a nice trade on gold would be the signal A. So I'm going to load up the gold nugget. And these all come in pre-formatted templates. I'm going to change my instrument to gold. And we're going to put it on that Apex account. And we will give that one a try. I need it to come up just a little bit higher. You can see my leaderboard today. The Russell, by far. Then we have black gold, the E-mini, crude oil, and the Dow, all in the green. Here we go. So now we have a shot at this short roll. On gold. We've got the retracement back up to the 50, and now we would need a roll to the downside. Let me put that link in the room for you, Holland. Yes, you can trade micros. Absolutely. We're very close to getting into this short roll here on gold. Looking for momentum to break down this RSI line, to break down through that 80. Nice and tight to the 50 now. It's flying to the upside. All right, let me put that link in for Holland. The way my monitors are set up. Alright, let me pop up this notepad. Okay, Holland, I'm going to put this link in that will give you a lot more information. There's a very recent webinar and several videos on this page. I just put it in. There's a little bit of a delay. I'll also put in the number to the office here. We get done trading about 11:30. If I'll be around till about 6 p.m. this evening. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them for you. Yeah, we're getting this big retracement here on gold. It's pinned long. I'm sorry, what I meant to say is my RSI line in the Laguerre oscillator is pinned long. We need the short roll now back into the direction of the trend to get us into this trade on gold. We have that area of resistance, or in this case support, that might prevent the entry. We have to have a clear path to our profit target. If we don't have a clear path, and this blue line is going to obstruct our path to our profit target, it could prevent us from entering a short trade. Listen, we might consider looking for a long trade at this point. This thing came down so far. It was so far oversold. What we could do is kind of like what I did with crude oil, is we can also do a signal B. And I'll load the templates for the signal B on gold. And I'll also enable that. Now, if that one fires off, I'll disable the signal A, obviously. I see we're getting some crosses here to the upside. So my signal B is saying, hey, look at me. Look at me. This may very well pop us in long. Somehow I'm at 610. Oh, I did get an entry on the gold nugget. There it goes. Alright, so I'm going to disable my signal A. And let's see if we can get this trade here. I'm going to take this long position on gold. Try to get us back in the game. Yeah, you could use a daily strategy, sure. Remember, all of these parameters in the strategies themselves are fully adjustable for any time frame. If you want to trade a 4-hour, a daily, a 10-second, a 30 range, a 5-minute, makes no difference. Uh-oh. Okay, well, I'm going to turn off this Apex account. Today was, the FOMC day, and not to make any excuses, it's really one of the most difficult days to trade futures is when the Fed is coming out, and at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So our top strategies are going to be on our crude oil, our black gold, is up 370. On Russell, our cash cow is up 650. On the ES, the signal A is up 187.50. And on the NASDAQ, I don't think we have anything in the green on the NASDAQ. The Haymaker's down 200. Retirement plan down 635. So the NASDAQ got beat up today. And the Russell, crude oil, and the E-mini stood their ground. We have a really exciting strategy for prop traders. We call it our one-day pass strategy. And right now, currently, with Apex running a 90% sale, it's kind of a fast track to getting the PA account. That 2-minute retirement plan, this is our window. This 10:30 to 11 window is usually the time we see a big swing. Now crude oil. Ay, ay, ay. Now crude oil wound up breaking to the upside. Look at that. I got wicked out on that long entry. Came down, wicked me out, and took off to the upside. So it wound up getting a beautiful entry to the long side. Somehow I missed it. That was a painful one to miss. Just got wicked out. Let's take a look at that trade on the Apex account. Oh, it looks like it actually took a short. So 10:30, yeah, we were looking at this trade out of consolidation and got in here, and then it wicked us out. So now that we're up about 480, this is like when I like to do the pin my stop, pin my 15 EMA to my stop, and I do that by right-clicking where it says one cell STP. I right-click, and then I come over here and attach it to an indicator, properties, and then the third one down is the modified fast, and I'm going to click OK. Now my stop is going to be pinned to my 15 EMA. So it's a momentum-based trailing stop that will ensure that I don't give back too much of that while still giving it some room to mature to the upside. So this was an entry that it took at 10:20, just prior, about 9 minutes prior to the crude inventory report. When the report came out, it caused it to pop to the upside. So the black gold strategy traded that inventory report very nicely. Just so happened to be in a long position. I've seen this happen before. I think we spoke about it right before it happened, actually, where the system will be in a position right through the report, and then it's kind of a coin toss, whether it's a positive or negative report. In this case, it caused the price to go up and into our long position. So it caught a beautiful trade there for the crude report. On gold, let me see. No, we're currently not in a position on gold, Holland. It came back and got my stop. I lost that trade. I was in a position on gold. Let me show you the trade. I was in a long position, and it retraced and it wicked me out. Market kind of went sideways on me. This black gold strategy has really been, let me tell you, it had this week, if we go back to May 1st, the black gold strategy, trading one contract on the black gold, and this is May 1st to the 21st on my system, and this is trading one E-mini. It's up just under $3,500. And I knew that. I did know that, and I was kind of excited for the inventory report because I love to trade that strategy. It just didn't go my way today. I kind of used my own opinion and bias, to be honest with you. I was looking for that short roll on crude because of that huge move down it made. It made this big move down, and I thought it was going to continue to take short rolls, which it didn't. The NASDAQ is a little painful to watch today. In conditions and days like this, it's best to just leave it in sim. But there's no clear direction and very little volatility, just a sideways market. Whether you automate a strategy or you try to trade discretion, those are rough conditions to trade. Now, after 2 o'clock, after Jerome Powell says what he has to say, or the FOMC releases the minutes, maybe we'll get a direction. The strategy we're looking at here, that's in the trade on the left, is our crude oil strategy. That's the one that I was just talking about. It can get confusing because there's quite a few that run simultaneously. Here's our open positions here. We're in another really nice trade on the Russell, the black gold trade that we're watching. Our 30 range haymaker is in long that you see on my chart. The E-mini is short right now. And the Dow Diamond you see on the bottom left. Let's see what happens with the haymaker. Will the NASDAQ finally break through this area of resistance? We've been watching it all morning bounce. All morning. It must have tested it a half a dozen times. And it just bounced again. Got a big Memorial Day weekend coming up. Long weekends. And God willing, I'm going to be back on tomorrow. And Friday will be Miller time. Mark Miller, the owner of Right Line Trading. If you haven't seen him trade yet, do not miss Friday. He uses the trade copier. Has probably a dozen or two Apex accounts, and it's really exciting to watch. Big things happen. On Monday, we saw him take a trade with 7 accounts on a trade copier. And make $10,000 on a trade, so that was really exciting. Here we go again, another retest. I was just thinking to myself, it might not be a bad strategy to put a sell order in right at that pivot, right at that volume zone, and then ride it down to here and close it and just keep doing the same trade. It comes right here, and it bounces. Goes short right there. When you or I do it, it'll be the time it breaks through there, right? Oh, here comes the short roll on crude. So black gold went right to the leaderboard. I was all over that strategy today. I had it. Look, here we go. Here we go with that signal. Now it might be worth taking that signal B now. It broke through. We've got decent volume here. There it goes. See if I got into it. Nope. Oh. 30 range. Shoot. I think I missed this one. I think it passed me on by. I tried. Oh, it just jumped in. Now I'm in. Oh. Keep going. Keep going. Don't stop now. Let's take a look. Got a shot of redemption here. This ranging market. We took one last shot with this break of resistance. I think we're a little late to this party here. Now maybe that's resistance will act as support, and it'll bounce off of that. I've got two young kids that they both have a fascination with grabbing my glasses. And so I'm trying to see through the fingerprints here. Come on, give us a good push here to the upside. ES is headed up nicely. Come on, NASDAQ. Give us a little help here. Hey, Brandon. Yeah, I tell you, the kids, they can't wait to grab my glasses. The minute they're within range, they think it's great. And when I finally get them back and they're all bent and twisted and they got fingerprints all over them, it's a miracle they're not broken. Hey, Nightbot. Good to see you, my friend. We've been kind of taking it on the chin. I've been taking it on the chin with my Apex account today. And I probably should have called it a day and went home with my tail between my legs. But I decided to give it one last attempt on this long trade on the NASDAQ. And I'm just looking at the volume here. We're at 270, 280, 320. Let's see where it ends up. Went back into consolidation, it looks like. Jeez, this is a rough one. Very low volume. Very low. I tell you, if I get back to break even, I'd like to close this position. There's just no volume right now. Curious to see how that Sim 101 account did today. Should change to Israel. Yeah, it's no joke, Brandon. I've been talking to Brandon, oh my God, for years and years. Brandon is in upstate New York. Is that right, Brandon? Is my memory right? I think Buffalo, wasn't? No? A little further east. Oh, Utica. Gotcha. Yeah, we have another member, George, in Rochester. Is it Rochester? When he calls, he always says, "Hey, this is George up in the frozen tundra." Yeah, he's in Buffalo. He's a big Buffalo Bills fan. He's not in Rochester. You're east of him? Yeah, I went to school in Syracuse, when Ronnie Cycli and Sherman Douglas, Billy Owens. We had a really great basketball team, and we used to watch them play in the Carrier Dome. A lot of fun. But being from Miami, my friends told me I'm nuts to go to school in New York. They said, "What are you going up to Syracuse, New York for? Are you crazy?" And I really didn't understand what they meant. I always wanted to be in New York. You think of New York, and it's like the big city. And I went to Syracuse, and it wasn't exactly what I had pictured it as, to say the least. Weather-wise, the campus is beautiful. Weather-wise, oh my God, it was a miracle if the sun came out. Sometimes it'd be dark for months at a time. I'd be out in the bus stop waiting for the bus in a snowstorm. Come on, NASDAQ. We got this low volume. Well, our resistance, I think, is now so far, so far, is holding up as our support. And now we just need a good stiff wind here. Oh, wow. I didn't know they changed the name of it. That's how far behind I am. Without air conditioning. Yeah, Carrier is huge up there. That's the main company. Everybody works for Kodak in Rochester or Carrier. Hey, I see some green. Maybe we have some hope. You are right about that. These hurricanes are no joke down here. The home insurance, it's just astronomical to insure your home here in South Florida. And when they do come, you got to hunker down big time. Board everything up. Be prepared for no electric, no internet for days, maybe a week or two. When I was in high school, I thought it was great. You know, with no school, we'd have hurricane parties. Now I'm a homeowner, and when a hurricane comes, I was scared to death. My house is going to blow away. Well, we got ourselves into one here, didn't we? The Russell, look at that. Something tells me to jump ship while I can on this one. But I think we're going to let it play out. We've come this far. Wow, this is almost like watching paint dry here. This is actually the NASDAQ we're trading. It's you think maybe we were trading soybeans. I bet, Brandon. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze this trade. I don't really want to be in it. You know what I could do even better is I think what I'll do is just pin it to my 15. I do have a trailing stop, so it might not work, but we'll try it. Nope. If you have a stop strategy, it won't allow you to pin it to the indicator. So in the strategy parameters, if there's any trailing stop, you would have to remove it. The volume on the E-mini much higher than it is on the NASDAQ. Almost a 5-to-1. So I'm going to try to get out of this position with as little damage as possible and call it a day. I'm just going to start squeezing it as it goes up a little bit. Let's see what happens. Sometimes patience is a virtue. We'll keep it right by the 15. With this low volume environment, you know what? I'm going to get out of it. I'm going to close that position. Oops. Just don't like the way the volume is waning on us. So let's put this back on the haymaker. Here's the trade here that the drone got into. Same trade. It got in there a little earlier than I did. All right, everybody. Listen, yeah, it's volume has kind of waned on us here on the NQ, and I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the day. My leaderboard today, we had a couple of good opportunities on crude oil. The Russell, the Russell was our top strategy. And if we go to our trade performance for the week on the Russell, the 20th to the 23rd, 22nd, three trading sessions. And I always start off these sessions with "What have you done for me lately?" And it really proved to be true today with the Russell this week just having a banner week. All three of the Russell strategies combined. If you just pick one, very efficient, very small drawdown. The majority of the trades are winners. 1,200 trading one E-mini on the Russell this week. So I hope everybody has a blessed day. It was a bad day trading for me personally, but we'll be back tomorrow, God willing. Have a blessed day, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.